So welcome back to the lecture series of function of complex variable. In the previous lecture, actually I have discussed what is the analytic function and what are the necessary and sufficient conditions for a function to be analytic, and how we can define a derivative of a complex valued function by virtue of the partial derivative and using the Cauchy-Riemann equation. And I have discussed example where we have verified the sufficient condition for a function to be analytic. So now in this lecture we are going to discuss what is the harmonic function and what are the conditions for a function to be analytic, and how we can verify what are the conditions for a function to be harmonic, and by using the concept of the harmonic function how we can verify whether a given function is analytic or not. So what is the definition of a harmonic function? So arbitrarily any function of two variable fxy is said to be a harmonic function if it possesses the continuous partial derivatives. That means if the partial derivatives are continuous, that means del f del y, del f del x are continuous, as well as the second order partial derivative del 2f del x2, del 2f del y2, del 2f del x del y, del 2f del y del x, all are continuous. So all its partial derivatives must exist and need to be continuous. And the second order partial derivative satisfy this equation, that is called as the Laplace's equation. That means del 2f del x2 plus del 2f del y2 equals to 0. If both these conditions are satisfied, then we can say that the function fxy is harmonic. So function fxy will be harmonic. Number one, if the partial derivatives of fxy up to first order and second order are continuous, and the second order partial derivative satisfies the equation. These two conditions are satisfied, then only we will say that the function fxy is a harmonic function. Example, fxy equals to, if I take e to the power x sin y, this will be a harmonic function. You can verify what is the partial derivative of del f del x. You can find that is e to the power x sin y. The del f del y will be e to the power x cos y. Then you can find del 2f del x2, del 2f del y2, and you can add them together. You will get that these conditions will be satisfied. And all the partial derivatives are continuous, because we know that exponential function is continuous and sin x cos x function are continuous. So that's why their product must be continuous. So both these conditions will be satisfied here. So this function must be considered as the harmonic function. So then there is one important theorem we will discuss here. So say for example, if z function is given to us, that can be written in the form of u plus iv, and we know that this function will be analytic. It is given that fz is analytic. Then the partial derivatives of u, then u and v will be harmonic functions. So what is the statement of the theorem? So with the help of the theorem, a function is given to us, we know that is an analytic function. So the partial the real and imaginary part of the function value uxy and vxy will be then the harmonic function. So if a function is analytic, then both of its real and imaginary part, so both of u and v, we know that they are the real and imaginary parts of fz. So both of them will be the harmonic function. So how we can prove that? This is that is very easily we can prove. So since f is analytic, so the real and imaginary part of fz must satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann equation. That means ux will be vy and uy will be minus vx. Now if we differentiate the first equation with respect to both x and y partially, then whatever we will get uxx equals to vxy. If we differentiate this partially with respect to x, then uxx will be vxy. And if we differentiate this partially with respect to y, we will get uxy will be minus, and if we differentiate this partially with respect to x, we will get uxy is minus vxx. Now if we differentiate this partially with respect to y, what we will get? We will get uyx will be vyy, and if we differentiate this partially with respect to y, we will get uyy equals to minus vyx. Okay. So from here it can be easily verified that uxx plus uyy, this will be vxy plus vyx. Now we know that since u and v are continuous and its past derivatives are continuous, so we know that uxy and uyx or vxy and vyx, they are called as the mixed partial derivatives. So if u, v are continuous as well as their partial derivatives are continuous, then uxy, uyx, vxy, vyx will be same. So these two are same. So that's why uxx plus uyy will be 0. and Vxx, Vyy plus Vxx will be 0 because Uxy and Uyx are same. So in that way we can show that U and V are harmonic functions. So the analytic function for which both these real and imaginary part are harmonic functions, they are called as the harmonic conjugates to each other, or they are simply called as the conjugate functions. So from here what we have studied, so if fz is an analytic function, it is given to us, then both of its real and imaginary part will satisfy the conditions for a function to be harmonic. And if we have shown this, or we have done this proof, and then the U and V are called as the harmonic functions or harmonic conjugate functions, or they are called simply as the conjugate function. So then another important theorem is, so the just reverse of this theorem. So in the previous theorem, what we have done or what we have proved, so we have shown there, if fz is analytic, then both of its real and imaginary part will be harmonic. Now here it is given that the Uxy is a harmonic function, and Vxy is its corresponding harmonic conjugate, and both U and V satisfies the Cauchy-Riemann equation. That means the first order partial derivatives of U with respect to x and y and first order partial derivatives of V with respect to x and y, they are satisfying the Cauchy-Riemann equation. Then the function fj that we can construct by combining U and V in the form Uxy plus Ivxy will be an analytic function. So apart from the necessary sufficient condition that we have done so far to prove a function to be analytic, by the help of the conditions for a function to be harmonic and the harmonic conjugate functions concept, we can also show that the function fz is analytic. Is that clear? So Uxy is a harmonic function, and Vxy is another harmonic function, and they are harmonic conjugate to each other. That means U and V both are satisfying the Cauchy-Riemann equation, and they are satisfying the Laplace's equation. Then the fz is an arbitrary function, but we can construct fz by combining U and V in the form Uxy plus Ivxy. Then this function must be an analytic function. So how you can show, say Uxy is x square minus y square. So we need to show that Uxy and Vxy both are harmonic functions. So what is Ux? Ux is 2x. So what is Vx? So Vx will be 2x. So Ux equals to, so Vy will be 2x. So Ux equals to Vy. And what is Uy? Uy will be minus 2y, and Vy will be 2y. So Uy equals to minus Vx. So the first order partial derivatives of U and V are satisfying the Cauchy-Riemann equation. And what is Uxx plus Uyy? So Uxx is 2 and Uyy is 2 minus 2. So if Uxx plus Uy will be 0 and Vxx plus Vy will be 0. So both U and V are the harmonic functions, and their first order partial derivatives are satisfying the Cauchy-Riemann equation. So from the previous theorem we can say that the fz that we can construct in the form of Uxy plus Ivxy, that will be analytic function. So we know that if we combine Uxy plus Ivxy, so that is x square minus y square plus I into 2xy. So we know that this gives us the function z square in terms of z. So if I substitute x plus iy equals to z, so Uxy plus Ivxy will be giving us z square. So already we have shown that fz equals to z square is a function which is differentiable everywhere. So it is an entire function. So obviously it will be analytic function at any point, any domain, or in overall complex plane. So thus we can verify this given theorem. That means by combining Uxx, Uyy we are getting z square. So by this theorem, this will be obviously an analytic function. And already we have shown earlier that fz equals to z square is an analytic function. So this theorem is verified. So what we have studied so far in this lecture? So in this lecture we have studied what are the conditions for a function to be a harmonic function. Then if a function is analytic, then what are the necessary conditions for a function to be harmonic? And if a function is harmonic and we got some other functions as its harmonic conjugate, then combining both we can construct some complex valued function which will be our analytic function. And I have shown this through an example. So next lecture I will discuss how to find out the harmonic conjugate of a given function of two variables and related problems. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you all for watching this.